Greetings, YouTube. Welcome back to the channel. I believe that this month's side quest has a chance to make it into the Side Quest Hall of Fame. And it's not just because we have 5 weeks of it, which is very unique. And look at this image. Ooh, it's a pretty artsy image. Pretty creative. All right, so the hardest part about doing the side quest, I find, maybe I'm wrong, but is just remembering what boosts you have used and haven't used. And the first thing you gotta do is go to Other and just start scrolling down. And what stinks is if you're down to 1 in some of these, like this, what's Planetarium? I don't know. Here we are. If you get down to 1, it forces you all the way back to the top and you gotta scroll down, which I find to be annoying. Like this hardened coding, when I activate it, it's going to put me all the way back to the top and not have to scroll all the way down. Small annoyance, but still an annoyance. All right, and so I think we left off here. And if it doesn't tell me that I've already used it, I just select it. And maybe that's a bad decision. And this Vicious Assault's going to be the last one. And then we are going to jump in. I am not boosted. So we are recording this as is. Hardest path first. 6 nodes. Unblockable specials. Power bond. Attacker's power draining abilities are 90% less effective. So this will be a lot of special one baiting. But if you hold block... Holy cow. That was wild. Okay, so you got to hold block to start off because he started out as almost a special 3. That's good to know. Okay, now that I've done that, we can start. So that's a little tricky, you know? That's a little tricky. Remember, if you intercept with the boost, you'll do a stun. All right. But the tricky thing about Red Skull is, of course, if you try to intercept and you block, or he blocks, then you're just screwed. So I'm going to fire a special 2, and then I'm going to, I was going to say I was going to dash back, but he immediately fired it. So that ain't good. I could have handled that fight better. Not my finest effort, but we made it through. Little tricky. Now, Doctor Strange and Dormammu are the next 2 enemies on the path. So let's see how we do here. Man, all right, so I'm immediately dash back and hold block. Here we go. See, God, that's tricky. He starts with an unblockable special 2, essentially. And that is not the easiest to dex, at least not for me. But the good news is this guy's a tank. And health-wise, I'm not losing too much. Unblockable special 1. And then he blocked my special 2. But then look at all this damage. Okay, and then the intercepting. So I've made a ton of mistakes. And I have revives that are expiring that I, use them or lose them. But haven't needed them so far. The best part of this side quest, because these fights are tricky. Remember unblockable special 2 to start off. Dash back, hold block. Dash back, hold block. Okay. I dodged most of that. And then his special 1 is very easy to dex. All right, got that stun on the intercept again. Intercepting is your best friend. I actually gained health back in that fight. I'm kind of impressed that it's a little tricky. Boy, without those boosts, good luck. Because they're making it to where you are just going to get wrecked. They want it to be impossible without spending a ton of revives. But if you're just doing special 3s, yeah, do not take this path lightly. Learn from me. And look at that. An immediate special 3. That is tricky. Because you don't think of Sim Supreme as somebody, of course, that's going to hit a special, even a special 2 for a while, based off of how he normally is. But look at that I mean, the actual fight, once you get past that initial first special, is pretty easy. But man, it's tricky this week. It is tricky. I am not going to deny that. All right, let's do the other quote-unquote hard path. I'm used to doing the other paths without boosts. Cornered feats the power aspect of evolution. Okay. This one's going to be a little tricky because the cornered. Because he's going to gain power pretty fast. But the good news is easy specials to Dex. But just make sure you're not pushing him to that special 3. That's going to be where you get wrecked. It's all about power control this week. And there are some tricky notes. But this is why I do this. So that you can hopefully learn from my mistakes. And in this case, I haven't made too many. All right, so the key is to hold block once. Yeah, there we go. Let's see if we can intercept her. There we go. I love intercepting. Hercules has made me so much better at it because when it pays off, it's pretty fun. Pretty fun. I'm gonna have to use a small energy after this, but I'll be good. So yeah, this is the second most difficult path on paper. Sometimes it's actually trickier than the first path. I don't think I would say that about this, but it's just about hold and block and use those boosts wisely. And if you want to help yourself out, do what I just did there. Just intercept and then do a special 2. 2 weeks ago, I think it was week 3, was when you had to intercept or you did like no damage. And a bunch of people, including myself, found that out the hard way. And then this is the immediate special 3. So you will, if you go into this with like a third of your health, you're going to be knocked out. Let's see if we can hold block and if it's going to make a difference. Yep. Okay, so we immediately held block. Still holding block. And now we can go in. Okay, that didn't work out well. All right, hold block. Again, I'm trying to have you all learn. And I love how he's only hitting me. There we go. He was only hitting me when I was dashing in. It was like an all or nothing node where he was just magically asleep. This is actually a little bit trickier of a boss fight than the first one. That's interesting too. All right, well, it's all about power control this week. It is tricky, but you just saw me take down the 2 hardest paths in about 8.5 minutes. So thanks for watching. Have a good one. Hope this helps everybody.